Today we are going to talk about FL Studio and Logic Pro. These are two extremely popular DAWs, and as those of you who know our videos, you'll know that I use FL Studio and have for a long time. I also don't own a Mac, so I can't really test out Logic. And secondly, even if I could, I wouldn't be as proficient in it as I am in FL. What I can say is while I love FL Studio, Logic looks really enticing, and if I were a Mac user, I probably wouldn't have considered FL Studio. So let's start with FL Studio and why I think it's a great DAW. FL feels like a true Windows or even Android inspired DAW. Tons of windows and tools to give you free reign to do pretty much whatever your mind can conjure up. It's far from linear and rather messy compared to its competitors, and that's sort of what I love about it and what makes it unique. Also, unlike Logic, it's accessible on both Windows and Mac. So we can't talk about FL Studio without talking about the channel rack. The channel rack is perhaps the reason many full-time producers didn't take FL or Fruity Loops at the time very seriously. This step sequencer made it really easy to create drum loops within a few minutes. Anyone can use the channel rack to make awesome drum patterns with ease. It's just a case of dragging and dropping sounds and then creating patterns and even being able to pan them, set velocities, pitch shift, and more, all within the channel rack. The piano roll is great inside FL Studio. It's really great for someone who has no knowledge in music theory as well. You can just use your mouse and draw in individual notes or entire chords. You can lock the piano roll to only play notes within a certain scale. The piano roll remembers the length of the previous note you put in, so you won't constantly have to adjust the length of every new note. You can instantly arpeggiate your melody, strum it, or just claw it into tiny pieces and create an entirely different sound from where you started. Once you start taking the deep dive into FL Studio's effects, you may accidentally stumble upon a plugin called Patcher. And man, oh man, is this a beast in its own right. Patcher again opens up a separate window, allowing you to string a bunch of plugins, stock or external, and create your own custom plugin. People have made some next level patches with this. You can set your own switches, knobs, and more for your custom patches and share it with other FL users. So when it comes to Logic and you open it up, it looks just like the mixer in an actual studio. It's something I'm not really used to. Everything is there and it all somehow fits when I feel like it's not supposed to. Maybe a silly thing to focus on, but it really catches my eye as an FL user who has a mixer, a channel rack, and a playlist all on individual windows. This seems very organized, and it might also make the workflow a lot faster. No, it will make the workflow faster. Guys, the stock sounds in Logic are so good. This has always been where FL just fails for me. There are a few standouts for FL, but I watched videos with Logic stock sample library and loops, and I was surprised at how good these sound. The instrument plugins are just as great as well and were made with love. Also, this could just be my personal critique. They feel like they're not so heavily focused on the more EDM, housey dubstep sound that I get from FL. Beautiful sounding drums from the drum machine, soulful pianos, guitar amps, and more. Go and look at any FL Studio music tutorial. Let's say how to mix music. The FL Studio user has a ton of external plugins. The Logic guy is always using the stock plugins, and that simply speaks for itself. Another cool thing I saw, and I don't know if that's Logic specific, but it's called Smart Tempo. Logic analyzes the recording and then automatically maps the tempo of your recording or sample, and then can set the tempo of the sample accordingly. This is not just for that recording, but for the drums that are going to go in there, for the pad that's going to go in there, for the guitar that's going to go in there. It's just wow. No need to stretch things to match, no need to play a metronome. You can just go in and play and let Logic adapt according to how you play, not you adapting to the BPM in Logic. This is where I believe FL Studio could slightly stunt your growth. Whereas it has great tools for those who don't play instruments, I feel like Logic is actually geared to the people who can. You can literally make sheet music in Logic. In Logic, you can search through the library and just search acoustic guitar. It's going to give you every acoustic guitar sound from every instrument in the DAW. That's nuts. In FL, I would have to go through every plugin, test out each sound, close that plugin, open another plugin, check, do I like this one? Go to the next one. This just makes everything so much easier. Logic is, however, Mac specific, so for those of us on PC, you will not be able to use Logic. This is a huge pro for Mac users as everything is streamlined and updates are on time with the actual hardware. Since Apple Music supports spatial audio like Dolby Atmos, Logic has a surround mixer and 3D object panner to create spatial audio. It's all so cohesive. If you own a Mac, then Logic is a no-brainer. The price for this insanely powerful hardware is well worth it. Again, I am not a Logic user, so definitely go check out Sam Lu's Audio Engineering and Why Logic Pro Rules channels for some more in-depth videos that showcase just how good Logic actually is. So let's compare pricing in both audio workstations here. FL Studio has 4 editions. The Fruity edition, which I thought it was for the artist who doesn't make beats. However, you can't even record in this, so I'm not sure what the purpose of this is, but it costs 99 USD if you want it. The Producer edition, which is the most popular and costs 200 USD. Signature, which comes with a few more plugins, costs 300 USD, and the All Plug-in edition, which comes in at a huge sum of 500 USD and gives you access to all the image line plugins. Logic has a one price plan and you get everything at 200 USD. So realistically, the complete version of FL Studio is double the price. When I saw the price of Logic, I was shocked. This is the most affordable DAW and still somehow one of the best DAWs. The only catch in that price is you need to own a Mac. Both of these DAWs are going to allow you to create great music. Use the one that best fits your workflow and your budget. Both will get the job done, and try not to feel locked into any one workstation. Forget the FL gang guys, the Logic gang, the Ableton crew, whatever people are calling themselves now. Use what works for you. Guys, thanks for watching the video. We really appreciate you. Give us a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content so we can keep making videos like these. And while you're at it, have an amazing day.